Hello everyone and welcome back to Beaglington-On-Sea. Yes, welcome back to a rather chilly Beaglington-On-Sea. In fact, I've got 3 jumpers on. I have to have the windows open to let the smell of the glue out, because apparently it's too strong. So, I have got a bit more of the platform built. As you can see, Bill is back with his coaches. So I have to do the edging strips on this, and I have to do the back wall construction on this as well. And I've got this ramp bit that I've cut into it as well. So in this episode, I'm going to try and get that done. I've got to try and brush off the excess grass and try and save what I can from it, see how the grass has turned out. And I really need to get the ballasting done. And Alex at the desk needs to do platforms for the brewery because I can't do the ballasting without them. So here we are, we're going to get started. So I'm using the Metcalf kit for the platforms, and in order to attach the back walls of the platforms, I need to add edging strips. So I've got one there already, and these are basically strips of card that come with the kit, and I thought I'd cut out a whole load of them, but I don't know, they must have got lost within this pile. So we've got a section where the end of the platform is going to come down, and we want to make sure that this comes down at an angle, so it's going to have to go up against this piece here. So we can draw a line, and that should allow us to cut an angle out of the piece of card, and it should allow us to match it up to the end of the platform, and then we can mark another line where the end of the platform is, and then the end walls have a bit of a capping stone built in, so I can probably end it a bit shorter than that, and that gives us our end. And then we just get a bit of glue. I'm running out of glue as well, that's another thing. There's nothing left to that tube. Just squeeze it all up that end. You can see the seagulls. Right. Put dab of glue on there. And we pick that up. And we attach it to the railway. Like that. And it should be lined up nicely with the end of there. There we are. That will provide support for the wall going down, and so we can now do the wall around the rest of it. Now the next section of wall that we need to do is going to be the back wall. I'm not going to show you how to do all of the back walling. The straight sections are more or less the same as this, and I'm just going to show you this bit because it's got the end of the platform part on it. So basically, you've got your 2 halves there, and you've got 2 bits of card, and they go in between as a sort of card sandwich. So do one side, attach that to the rear of one, make sure it's lined up, like so, and then you get the other one, and you put your glue on that, And you put that on the other side, like that. Make sure it's lined up so that it fits on the platform nicely. And then when they're lined up, glued together, you then put a bit of glue between the two pieces, like so, and sandwich them together, so you should have a wall that's made of 4 thicknesses of the Metcalfe platform card. And that should be all nice and neat. There we are. I just realised that some of that might not have been in focus. Whoops. Right, well, anyways. Then we're going to attach that to the platform. So what we're going to do is run a bit of glue along the underside here. Trying to run out of glue doing it because I've got to do all the rest of the wall. And it doesn't matter if you get a little bit over on the side that's going to be to the rear, because that's actually going to help it stick to that edging strip at the back. So I'm going to place it down onto the platform like this, and that should match up with the platform ramp section, like so. Stick it down like that, and then of course you've got your platform strips here. These are the top edging strips, they go along there, and each of the end wall sections have a wall end stone, which I should just cut out now. Now these are wraparound sections that you glue around the end of the wall. So put a bit of glue inside that to make sure it's on all sides. And then you attach that to the end of your wall, like so. Give it a squeeze, make sure your glue's stuck on. Then you can take your strips. So I had some leftover strips, so you can make a capstone out of one of these tiles that make up the capping strip, the edging strip, whatever you want to call it. Double glue on the top of that. Pop on our capping stone, like that. And then you get your length of card again up here. The fold is going to be about there, so you just give it a bit of a gentle wiggle so that it will bend over it. And run your glue along the top of the platform where that's going to go. And hopefully it will stick down. So we need a little bit more glue just along there. Oops, too much. It's alright, we can wipe off the excess in a second. Use this piece of card to do it actually. There we are. And then slide that down to there. That should fit on the top of the wall, nice and neatly. Just find a bit of spare card to wipe off the, use a bit of this, just to wipe off some of the excess. It doesn't look too dry clear anyways. There we are. We'll just make the wall look a bit damp. And there we are, that's our section. So I'm going to get on and do the rest of that, and I'll show you what the platform looks like afterwards. Here's how the end walls look now they're on, and you can see the walls go right the way around the platform now. So now I'm just going to add in the self-adhesive strips to the edge. And so now we have the platform pretty much finished, and I've got enough space to park a bus beside it, which was why I've got this cut out on this side. There's a little bit of road there. I can park a bus there behind the station. Put a little bit of grass scatter maybe between the road and the platform edge, just there, down here, see? And there's a little bit of a gap here, just so I can run some grass or something along there. I've got Bill on there, so I can judge roughly how close to the edge I want it to be. There's a massive gap there. If I wasn't putting Bill there, you see I could be a bit closer, maybe like that. He just about makes it through, so we'll have to see. I could just keep Bill to not running on any areas of the layout because it will make it a lot easier for clearances. But one of the things I have to do is cut a hole for lighting. So there's a hole underneath the platform just there where the lighting is going to be, and I have to figure out the position of the platform and the station on top of it to figure out where the lighting is going to go. And so the best way to do this is I've marked out where the platform is going to go lengthwise already on the board, so I can move it backwards and I can see that it's roughly going to be about 3 centimeters in from the platform edge. So then I get my station building, which will have a hole cut better in the bottom of it because I'm going to use different lights probably. I've got LEDs, a string of Christmas LEDs like I did on the Engage layout that I'm going to try out for this layout and see how it goes anyways. So we know that that's going to be roughly in the middle on this platform, and we have to make sure that the roof doesn't overhang the edge of the platform, so it should be about there. But when the platform is there, the hole is all the way over here, so the station platform with the building would have to be there. Yeah, see, that's going to be a problem, so I may need to cut another hole further over. So that's probably what I'll do. Knowing that the middle of the station is about here, I can mark on roughly here. That's where I want to cut a hole in the platform. So got something to do that with, I suppose. Just cut our hole in the top, like that. And we can open it out a bit underneath. There we are. So there's nothing underneath that part, I don't think, for when we want to have our station there like that. Yeah, that looks good. I've never had these doors on the back of the station openable. There's always been a wall in the way. It's like a running joke now. So what I need to do is mark on underneath here, roughly, if I move the platform. That's as far as I'm going to be able to go, I think, because I will put my pencil down through the hole and make a mark. Now, that is going to be where a supporting timber is, but I could bring the wire here and then have a stick coming up with the light on top of it. So it's not the end of the world. And then that's that platform done. So I'm going to go off camera and attempt to build another platform for over there. And I'll let Alex at the desk take over doing something at the desk. Yes, hello everyone and welcome back to the desk. I've got some clutter here, we're all a bit of a heap, but I've got some bits of leftover platform, some platform surface, and I've got to make a brewery platform. Well, let's see now. I'll move the camera and we'll get started. So we have our assemblage of pieces. These are the Metcalf pieces I have left over from kits from the first build of Beaglington in this house, Beaglington Mark II, and also spares from Beaglington Mark III, and bits off of the other layout as well that I've recycled. And basically, the platform that I'm building is going to be an L shape, and it's going to fit beside the platform that I already have in the brewery siding. So the first thing first is I'm going to pop over there and get a template.
And so it's a bit of a difficult angle, and I'm probably going to end up getting in front of the camera, but I basically have to draw on the line of where I want my platform to join up to the other platform that's here. And that gives us our template. Although I was probably just in the way of all of that. So we now have our template, and we can straighten this up with the ruler. We want to be going on about here, like that. Let's see. That's where the other platform ends. We want to stick out a little bit there with our brick wall. We want to come across here to in front of the brewery building. And then we want to go across the front there. So we can actually come a bit further over there and go along like that. And we know that the brewery building is going to be here. We've got our profile of it, so there's a little notch in it there. And we have our bit there. And we actually need to come out to 3 centimeters on this side in order to have the right width of platform, and we need to come out. So when we're having the end of the platform is going to go like that, and then we're going to go there like that. So that's the first job, is to get this cut to size. So we're going to mark on our line there. I did that off camera, but that's where we're cutting it. And we're going to cut that like that. And then we're going to get a bit of card and stick those together. So we're going to get our card, and we're going to run some glue along this long piece here. And that should hopefully fit along all of that together. That way. Like so. And we can leave a little bit of excess on one end because it's going to butt up against another piece of platform. So that gives us our length there. And I've dropped the pencil. And then we can go and do our platform for the other side. So we're going to have a platform going across this far. So we want to mark on our line. Sorry, it's not enough space here. This is where we're marking on our line here. So we want to be just there on that brick course. There. And then that is going to go across like that to there. So we're going to need an extra bit of playing card. I don't really want to use that piece. That piece will do. We can cut that to the same length of this piece of card. And that will go like that. So, that. Right, I will get on now and do the rest of this, and I'll show you how it's looking when I have it ready. I've got the other section of the platform which goes there. So that will actually, they will go up against each other there, and I'll have to paint over this bit at some point, or I can lay some stuff. You can't really see from that angle. I'll turn you around. Oh. But we've got this piece that comes in here, and that's going to butt up against there. I have got some stuff, I suppose. But anyway, I could just run the edging strip along there and cut off the white section. So if we take a piece of this edging strip and we run it down there like so, when we get to that line there, we can cut that off. And I can cut off the white section like that, and we'll pop that tile in there on the end like that, and there we have it. That's how it will look. So with that done, I can go and place that on the railway for Alex, and he can be faffing about with it with his ballast. I'm going to get my glue, and I'm just gonna take that up and run the glue along the back of it, because the front part will get ballasty glue holding it down. We just want to make sure that we're not going to disturb it when it comes to actually doing the ballasting. So we're going to put that down there, exactly where I want it. And just check again. We're fine there, yeah, there's plenty of space there. And then I'm going to pull out the other piece, and I'm going to put a bit of glue on the section that's going to join up to the other one. Ooh, glue went the wrong way. I was holding it the wrong way up. Put a decent bit of glue on where it's going to butt up to the brewery building, because it'll get knocked a bit. There we are. There's all that glue on there. And so we're going to take that and we're going to place it back where it was, in that corner, next to our other piece. Nice and snug together. There's a little bit of space behind that wall as well. Glue onto that. And that will be against there, like that. I hope it'll all look nice when it's all glued in place. And like I said, that'll be pushed in against that like that. But I'm not gluing it down just yet. And then you see the vans will be able to drive up there. They won't actually. I'm sure if I get some sort of a smaller lorry or something, maybe. But it's going to look all right. It won't necessarily work. But now, with that piece fitted there, I should be able to get on with doing the ballasting once it's glued in place. There's not much more I can do to that, really. Just double check the bill. Long bill. Right. Time to make way for the ballasting, I suppose. Right, so we're busy still working on the platforms over here, but I'm going to attempt to fit lights to the layout in the same way that I did it to the N-gauge layout, which is to use some Christmas lights. And I'm going to feed them up through the board, and I'm going to stick them to earbuds that I'm going to cut down, and then we stick them through the board, and that will allow me to kind of fix them to something as I weave them up and down. And so we're actually starting at the battery pack end, so that we'll always have extra lights left over at the end as we go along. So that's the plan anyway. So the first thing to do is to warm up our hot glue gun, and it's on the floor here on a piece of card, and is probably just about ready. I've got it on a nice long 4 thingamadoodle. So the first thing I'm going to do is attach the battery pack to this wood, because if I attach it to the wall, it'll almost certainly fall off. So I'm just going to put some hot glue on the wood, like so. Just grab myself an extra stick. And make sure we've got the battery pack on the outside of it. And we can put some glue on the other side of it as well, just to hold it in place. There you go, that side. There we go. And that should hold that in place. And now I'm going to feed the wires up under the board. So as you can see, I've got it reeled. And it'll be handy because it'll light up underneath the board as well. And it should have enough in this set of wires to do the whole of the Beaglington side. So what will happen is that will come up there, and I'll glue that, and then it'll pop up there. So we want to get our glue gun back. I'm going to take our wire, and we want to keep it out of the way as much as possible. So I'm going to stick it to the underside of the wood, under here. Which you probably can't see too well from behind me, but I've got it just sticking there. I'll just follow the frame, I think, rather than trying to loop underneath all these awkward bits of wood for now. So push that up there. The only problem with using hot glue in this way is that gravity is working against us. There we go. Right, move the camera. We've got the right pieces for doing the back wall of that one. I need an extra piece there. Well, it doesn't matter too much because we can just use that for one side, and we can run that there, and we can just use a normal piece. Oh, hang on a minute, I've got all the pieces. Perfect, right, so now I just need to get the pieces that go between them. So I'm actually short, I think, some filler pieces, but it's alright because I've got a piece of card here that should be alright if I just make the walls, say, one thickness, if that makes sense.
Right, well, it's now time to do the task that I really don't want to do, but also really want to do, which is to ballast, which is a difficult enough task, but when you've got so many points and, you know, you want them in your work, it really is a challenge. So I've got a couple of bags that I got in Mark's models. I've got ballast, medium grey blend, so woodland scenics ones. I've got medium grey, and I've got coarse cinders. Coarse cinders is going in that corner. Medium grey is going to be most of it, and if I run out, I use the other grey, and it just look like a different age of ballast, hopefully. That's the plan. I don't know how well it's going to go, but I'm going to start in the corner there, and I'm going to work my way along the back, and then eventually I might get around to doing the branch. We'll find out. Right, so we cut a hole in the corner of that. Let's get started.
So as I said, we're going to start in the corner, and I'm going to start by just sprinkling it along the rails just here, and then I will brush it up and down. And once we get it in all neat and tidy within the rails, we can worry about the cover elsewhere. I can flick it out the end of the rails as well, because this whole area is going to be made up of these cinders, because it's the engine shed area. I probably should have done an area of hard standing within the shed, but hey, maybe we're just a bit messy in the shed down in Beaglington-On-Sea. So you can see what we're going for. And here we have the area now finished. I've done the point there, and right, we can start on the grey now, hopefully.
Yes, so after a very long afternoon and evening, the ballast is down. Now we have to mist it, because it needs to be damp to help it accept the PVA or craft glue and water mix that we're going to add. To help me, I've got this TT catalogue. That's to stop the rest of the scenery getting wet. So, I mean, it's going to be difficult enough to do this, but I just sort of dangle it there. So I'm going to go ahead and do this, and we'll come back when I'm doing the tedious task of gluing it. What we have here is a mix, or will be a mix, when we speed it up, of water and PVA, or craft glue. It's actually a 50-50 mix with a small bit of washing up with it. And the trick is getting it really, really mixed up, because you need to keep the solution wet in order to apply it. As in like a solution of both substances together in equal amount, nice and mixed up, because otherwise you'll just end up with water and not glue. So that's the plan anyways. You might be able to hear the chillins in the other room, because it's got quite late now. So here we are, trying to get this ballast done in time. There'll be no Christmas special. Right, that's probably mixed enough. Like that. There, on the non-scenic section. And now we're going to go ahead and apply it. Right, well, I'm incredibly gluey, wet, ballasty. The ballast is laid. It just has to dry, and just hope that it doesn't just all hoover off when it's dry. Yeah. I mean, it looks a lot more like a railway now. The only problem is going to be things like actually being able to change the points, which I don't know. That they might require a bit of fettling. But it's done. Finished, right? Thank you very much for watching. It's getting close to Christmas now. Thank you to everyone who's liked, commented, shared, and subscribed, and thank you to everyone who has subscribed recently. And we'll see you again for another one soon here at Beaglington-On-Sea. But for now, I'm off to go and wash my gluey hands. It's alright. Oh, and don't forget there's also the subscribe button with the playlist thing.